Welcome back. 3, 2, 1, action time, go. That's what our directors do. That's what we always hear in our ears right before we come on. Today, I wanted to count you down on the other end. My name is Benjamin Akakpo. And of course, who kickstarted the show? You know her. She's sweet enough. I don't know whether she's sweet, sour today. I'm up to mischief about something, but I'm not going to bring it up on air. Sweetie Abochi. You know what time it is.
How was your weekend, Benjamin?
My weekend was restful and tiring at the same time.
Why? What did you do that was tiring?
On Saturday, I went with my Sunday school children to Mofra Place, about 500 of them. So you can imagine for us, the coordinators, what that meant.
So you teach Sunday school?
Yes, I do. I've taught Sunday school for decades.
Ah, okay. I was just gallivanting the whole of Accra, and then I slept yesterday, so it was quite restful for me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sunday was a bit here and there, and I read in church in the evening. Yes, so I read in church as well. I'm very active as a Catholic.
You don't act
Staunch Catholic.
here.
I don't act it here.
I know
What do I do here? Because I am comical and funny and everything.
Benjamin,
you think I'm not serious like that, eh?
I wouldn't have put you as a church boy, church man, church guy.
Okay, so let me tell you this. A lot of people on the outside who meet me outside, they think I'm so serious that I don't have a life. I don't have a fun side. When you get in here, then you realize the opposite is true, which you found out, actually.
And I must say that it's been interesting, you know.
It's been interesting.
Experiencing you on TV, on set right now, and then the Benjamin I know when the cameras are not on.
There are some people in church, just to sneak this in before I do endpoint. I do some announcements, fundraising announcements for the Harvest Committee. And I went on a few times, and a few people came to me and said, hey, I didn't know you were this funny, because I'm doing the serious thing, but everyone focuses on the serious guy on TV. And also, what do you say? Branding.
But I think it's a good combination. You know, you are hard and I'm sweet. You know what I mean?
It's good you didn't add something else. Anyway, this segment always brought to you by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Now, as always, they're offering you free prostate screening if you're a man, free fertility screening if you're a woman. And here's where you can locate Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic across the length and breadth of Ghana. Here in Accra, they're at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard. Then there's Kumasi Kronomo Abwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrady Anaji Estate, Tema Community 22, Techiman Hanswe and Siama in Zama. Their call lines 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. But here we are, we're about to slice and dice the newspapers. We're about to make minced meat of the newspapers. And joining me, Sweetie Abochi.
Yeah.
For me, one conversation I want us to start with. Sports. Now, those who are posting pictures of the eagle getting roasted can finally roast the Nigerians. And there was a lot of banter on social media where the Niger people, my own people, Niger, I have a strong link, people don't know, with Nigeria. But all of a sudden, they were going hard on us on social media. So, secretly, we were also wishing that something else will happen to them. So the trophy has come to West Africa, just not to Nigeria. Ghana. And one lesson learned, I feel. The Ivorians, first few games, weren't performing, changed their coach. Someone would have said it was suicidal. They've gone on to win the trophy. Lesson for Ghana. And two, when you host, yes, you can say that sometimes host teams are favored and this and that. When we hosted, where did we go?
Nowhere.
But actually, we went to, I think, a finals, and I don't know whether that's when we hosted. But the point is, host and win. We host and we are not able to win. So we continued with our barren situation.
It's a good day for Ivory Coast. But I thought that Nigerian team played serious defense game. More defense than, striking. They were protective or guarding their pole, with the little I saw and the little football that I know. And I found out some interesting facts.
And it reflected in the percentage. The percentage was about 67-33, against the Nigerians.
Did you know that Halley had cancer?
If you want to specify, testicular cancer.
Yeah, it's interesting that someone can come back from that and make such a name for himself.
A year and a half ago, he was battling this. So he's battled cancer, he's battled some life-changing moments, and he scored the winning goal together with Frank Kessie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it goes to tell you that in life, you're never down unless you decide to remain down. I've heard people say that even when you fall forward. You know, you can fall backward and you can fall forward. So life will definitely hit you at some point. Bounce back.
I like to say fail forward. You know, mistakes are your friends. Whatever you do, just pick the lessons from it and move forward with it. Because if you want to hate and berate yourself for, you know, how bad you fared, you're never going to move forward quick in time. So, yeah, I think it was impressive when I read that. And Twitter was fun. I read some George's post, no lights, no trophy, no noise. And so Nigeria has gone blackout and it's quiet because why are we the ones trolling Nigerians?
Charlie?
And not the,
no, were you on social media?
I was just
Did you see what they were doing to us? I mean, I think it's a sibling rivalry thing. But honestly, if Nigeria had won, Ghanaians wouldn't have had an ear to hear anywhere on social media for about 2 weeks. I can guarantee you that.
Perhaps Dr. Bawa.
Our brother and sister Nigerians and bragging, like they would have, even when it's dead, they will resurrect it.
It's a brotherly, neighborly thing that we do, and I enjoy it. You know, all the banter between Ghana and Nigeria, and I'm saying that perhaps Dr. Baumia would outline some plans on how we can win AFCON next year on the back of digitalization. I mean, I don't know.
What is he going to do? Digitize the Black Stars. This is not Nintendo. This is not PlayStation. Let's get serious. But on a more serious note, it would have been good to hear look, I think some things are not so realistic. Former President Mahama has said that he would change the fortunes of the Black Stars and have a homegrown team, more local players compared to foreign players. Mr. Former President, I think sometimes you should be very tactful with some of what you say. Because first off, what you're suggesting is some sort of meddling. You know that as far as the football associations are concerned, these governments, the state can give sponsorship, can fund. But in terms of determining who does what and all of that, that's to the GFA, that's to Kaitokra and Co. Once you cross those lines, you start meddling and your team could be banned. Okay. We've got close to that point before. Okay. That is one. I don't know whether the former president, John Dramani Mahama, is getting the right advice in respect of that. Two, I mean, over decades, this thing about building a team from the local end. What is our premiership like? The local league. What is it like? It's in the pits. So if you say you're going to pick people from there, I'm not denigrating our local players, but if you're going to pick people from there, the South Africans can afford to do that. Have you seen their league? What is our league like? And it's reflecting in their players. They have a nice blend. And finally, we have a history of all of these foreign players coming. Yes, I think the problem is that they don't train together enough to be able to have that cohesion, that gelling to happen. But it is not necessarily the problem that it's the foreign players and because they come from, so we are going to use local players. I disagree on those points.
I don't know the extent to which he wants to make that happen, but if he's going by the books, just suggesting how it should be done, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because to some large extent, I agree with what he said about using homegrown players. When you see the way some of these foreign players play when they come back to play for the nation, it's almost as if they have nothing to lose. And I think that's where the problem is.
Let's look at typical examples. Jordan Ayew, Crystal Palace, Thomas Partey, Arsenal. How much do they earn a week again? We've had players, sports people in this country. I'll always mention Gazy and that other woman. I've forgotten her name. Some of them suffered grave injuries for Ghana. Ghana would say, even calling to check on them was a problem. You are not funding their surgery. You are not doing anything. The Netherlands does it for one of your athletes. And then you expect that person, when another country is spending on them, to come and represent you.
So
Makes no sense.
That's the point then, Benjamin.
You are having...
These people have allegiance to their foreign teams because of,
the question is why?
Because they're better, they are more appreciated and valued than here.
It is, in some way, yes.
Yes.
But it's because, one, our football is corrupt.
Well, that's too.
Our football is corrupt.
Yes, that's too.
Two, you have an instance where a footballer, if he qualifies to the next round, and someone said that, listen, it's nothing to do with the coaches. The coaches may make a tactical move here. It's all on the players. You have a footballer who would earn a $30,000 bonus, and some technical person sitting somewhere who is practically doing nothing. And in our GFA, there are such people doing nothing, and that person will earn $60,000, twice as much. Already, we are pumping so many resources into football at the expense of even boxing that we've been known for. The times of the DK Poisons and the Azuma Nelsons and the Ike Bazooka Quarties, when we're not investing anything into boxing, so to speak. Where does the money go?
Yeah, where does the money go? I'm asking everyone, where does the money go?
Go and ask Tokreku, and then the National Sports Authority. Have you followed the National Sports Authority?
Afede just asked that the Editor General conduct an investigation, a proper audit into the National Football Association. And I'm looking forward to see what comes out of that audit, because it looks like there's money there, but the monies are not disbursed into the appropriate places and not put to the use that would, earn us a win, a trophy, whether a friendly game or national. Anyway, that's Ghana football for you.
Football, dear. Ajeta, I like how we've changed the Atija to Ajeta.
Ajeta.
Anyway, we have a good host of papers here today that we're going to be getting into. The Ghanaian Times, the Daily Guide on my side, the Ghanaian Publisher as well. 3 papers I'll be looking at. Which ones?
I have the Daily Graphic, the Republic, and the Finder. But this Jirapa Dubai boss story, the murder of, to be stabbed in your own hotel room. I learned 4 more people have been arrested, bringing the number to 5 now. And the police are investigating. George Ekufu Dampare has asked the CID, Director General of the CID, to work with the regional command to bring justice to this man. And I really like what he did for Jirapa. A resort of that magnitude in a community like that. Last year we saw star-studded festivals with Wiyala and the rest, bringing life to that place. And I mean,
we had conversations. We went there.
Yeah.
Kojo Youngson, among others, were there. I think Raymond Akwa, we were there.
Okay.
There were interactions held there, exposing everyone to the beauty of the Cozy Hills Hotel and everything. And all of a sudden, when I saw it, I don't know.
What was he involved in? Something like that doesn't just come out of me. It said there's no smoke without fire. So when I read this, I thought, what did he do? Who is he involved with?
Yeah, but sometimes it's not what you do. It's not always, let's be careful how we put it out, because it's always about, once people think you are moneyed, that you have maybe a duffel bag, or that you have,
you become
he's the owner, co-owner from what I hear of this entity. And it brings me back to the point of the lack of safety in some parts of the country. We have created a situation where in the northern belt of the country, and I say this without denigrating the people up north, but we have created a system of insecurity. Look at the roads going through from Kintapo leading to the northern belt. Look at how many things happen. Attacks on roads, people getting robbed, broad daylight, people wielding machetes and all sorts of, weapons and all of that. If it's not an ethnic clash, then it is people getting robbed. And for all you know, like in the instance of Lucky Dube, where the person said he didn't even know that it was Lucky Dube. Who knows? In this instance, maybe the person was, I don't know whether but the whole incident is...
There's a sharp contrast between what's happening in these other communities away from Accra and the heavy police presence here in Accra. Often I see these police on motorbikes, parading through town. I think it's just to let people know that they're around and, they're ready to fight crime if you get involved in it. So I do not understand how we have such heavy concentration of police personnel here in Accra, yet in the other communities like the Volta region, the Western region, and places like these where these crimes are perpetrated, how are they? Is it evenly distributed? How come it's just heavily concentrated here in Accra only, and crime is on the alert and high in other places in the country? Anyway.
Well, I know that there are some distributions, but as to
how it is,
whether I do know that Accra gets more than a fair share.
Of course, because we are more overly populated than the rest of the...
So I guess it would have to do with population and the different dynamics, if it's a hotspot as well. Okay, let's get into the papers.
Right.
Can you give us some details of that story?
Yes. So the renowned businessman Eric Johnson has tragically been killed at his hotel in Jirapa in the Upper West region. The owner of the Royal Cozy Hills Hotel, known as Jirapa Dubai, was found dead in his room on Sunday, February 11th, 2024. Now, sources at the hotel are saying that Mr. Johnson was discovered in a pool of his own blood with deep wounds on his body, indicating foul play. The Paramount Chief of Jirapa Traditional Area, Na Justice Donlabon Dina, has confirmed the incident and reported to the police. We also know that George Akufu-Dampare has asked the police, the CID, the Director General of the CID, and the Regional Command to lead that investigation. One person was arrested 2 days ago, and as of yesterday, 4 more people who work in the hotel have been arrested. So we're looking forward to seeing what comes out of that and if justice will be served for him. What headlines do you have?
Would you like to exhaust other stories?
Okay, from here, from the Republic. Sure. There's a story here about U.S. Embassy praising Ghana Journalists Association.
Right.
The U.S. Embassy in Ghana has praised the president of the Ghana Journalists Association for his sustained efforts in ensuring accountability for Ghanaian journalists who are attacked. According to the press attaché at the U.S. Embassy, Kevin Brosnahan, he is proud to be associated with the GJA under the leadership of President Albert Kwabena Dumfor, who was rigorously called for accountability for those journalists who were attacked. We know recently a journalist from City TV was attacked on the back of the elections and all the nuances. So perhaps
the Yendi MP Farouk Aliyu Muhammad says he was not involved in all of that. I think at a point he said he wanted to take. I was asking, saying he wanted to take the matter to court, and then I've seen the MPP, Justin Frimpong Kodia Frimpong, also sent an invitation to him to come and explain himself on certain grounds. Yeah, but have you seen a video where?
No, I haven't.
No,
have you?
Me neither.
Pictures, maybe. I've not seen anything. Just
You see, the difficulty in those situations is it's more like a fracas, a melee. Everybody is giddy giddy. You understand, and. You probably don't know that something is going to happen for you to train your cameras there.
Well,
so it's the journalist's word against the Yendi MP's word. But I mean, I honestly also don't think, while I do not have the full details, that someone will be trim and just frame a story. But just to add to that bit about the GJA, right?
Yeah.
The GJA has also condemned the NCA boss. The GJ has, in recent times, sort of called for a blacklisting or blackout of the likes of Mavis Hawa Kumsin and the Yendi MP, among others. And the NCA boss came out to say that this was a dysfunctional something. I've forgotten his exact wording. And they've gone hard against him because I don't know it will not serve its purpose and all of that. But at some point, something must be done.
Yeah.
And I support the GJA boss on that score. If you were on the receiving end, head of the NCA, then maybe you might understand. I'm not saying that you don't know the industry, but those comments were in poor taste.
Let me do this story about demolition. So this is the road minister saying that they will not pay compensation to occupants of demolished temporary structures. The Adenta Dodowa Road redevelopment project has commenced with a contractor clearing and preparing stage that has affected hundreds of occupants who are temporarily occupying these structures. Billboards, stalls, kiosks, and containers within the demarcation of the road have been demolished. But before I continue the story, I was at Amasaman sometime last week, and in the Zongo area, where the first batch of demolition happened, the MP for the area, incumbent MP for the area, Mensam, he was saying that the first batch of demolition that happened, the people there were compensated, and they have resold the properties to people who have no idea what's happening. And so they've been given 2 weeks ultimatum to move about 2-3 kilometers of road that's going to be demolished that has stalls, homes, shops, families. I interviewed one of the women, and she was in tears because she bought the place from someone who had been compensated already, so she has no idea.
So they are built on these places.
They're built in these places.
Okay, so two things at play, which always demonstrate that nothing works in this country. One, you're going to have a demolition. You've engaged the people on the land. you've demolished whatever. Some parts.
In the beginning, yes.
And compensated them. What do you do as a state? What do you do as a Metropolitan Assembly?
Ensure that nobody gets back to those places.
That is it. No one goes anywhere near. Failure of systems, failure of leadership. Then 2, these people who have resold whatever entities, we have Ghana cards, right? Trace them. Do what must be done.
Yeah.
This is basically criminal. Follow them and give them. If we see this happen once, twice, people will.
Yeah. And this is Nedodo. So they are saying all the occupants of these structures were given prior notice to relocate. They are demanding compensation for their demolished structures because they claim they pay permits to the Adenta Municipal Assembly. And the concerns, so they pay permits, and so they have to be in roadways.
So the Adenta Municipal, whatever, is it the Assembly?
Yes.
Gave them permission to build.
Yes.
Knowing fully well that this country,
So the concerns of the affected individuals are how to come by money and start life all over again amid the prevailing economic hardship. Yeah. That's that for the Republic Press newspaper.
All right. Let me quickly get into the Ghanaian Times and maybe the Daily Guide very quickly. Review curfew in Nkwanta. Traders, residents appeal to government. Some say that portion of Ghana has come to a standstill on the back of this economic activity and others. And that the last time I had the OT regional minister here, Mr. Makubu, he made mention of, well, others have also made mention of the fact that a lot of the youth have left that area because, I mean, you can't do certain things. So they basically left that community. Getting them back might be another hurdle. Cybersecurity Authority cautions public against Valentine's Day fraud. You might want to look out for that. President makes new appointments in prison service. Aftermath of fatal accident. Minister cautions Ofankwan Sawam road drivers against recklessness. And ex-President Mahama pushes for bipartisan parliamentary inquiry into Akosombo Dam spillage. He's not happy about how some of them have been treated. But let me just look into a few stories, 1 or 2. So the Cybersecurity Authority has warned unsuspecting members of the public regarding potential fraud associated with the upcoming Valentine's Day celebration on February 14. It's cautioned that cyber criminals often exploit the occasion to defraud unsuspecting victims through various schemes, including online shopping and romance scams. In a press statement released on February 7, the authority disclosed that 3.5 million Ghana cedis was reported lost in 2023 due to online shopping and romance scams. It therefore urged the public to exercise caution and due diligence in their online activities. So there's a lot of malicious activity that happens around this time. Don't get caught pants down, right? Valentine's Day, don't get caught pants down.
Literally.
Because your romance could turn into, tears. So look out for that.
This fraudulent activities is digital, isn't it?
Yes,
so like
by and large.
Yeah, buying stuff on Instagram, on Twitter. They say pay before delivery. You send the money and the page goes off. You can't trace it.
It could even be the common one. A lot of entities, even the eateries, right?
Yeah.
A lot of clone sites have been created. So when you go, usually it's those ones you see with that phone number you call. When they start telling you send the payment first, Momo, know that it is likely. It can be payment on delivery. Look, sometimes even they have a scheme. They can actually get the thing delivered. Do you know what they do?
What?
So this is the fraudster. He knows that this entity has whatever system where payment on delivery. So you call, unfortunately, you call the fraudster. The fraudster will say, fine, so we'll deliver to you and then you make the payment. Then the fraudster calls the company and tells them that I am Asemesi, come and deliver to me at this place. So the person brings the thing to you, and then the fraudster tells you that when the person arrives, call them. Call him or her. So when the thing arrives, you call him, and then he will say, send the money to him. And then you start taking the product, and the person will tell you, but you've not confirmed payment, you've not given me money. And that's where.
And then you have to pay double.
It's crazy. We all have to be very
Are there
careful.
any laws in place to check these, especially
we have the Cybersecurity Authority. Our laws have become more aligned to cyber crime, but we still have, in Africa, we are one of the countries that have something going when it comes to cybersecurity. There's Egypt, there's South Africa, there's Nigeria, there's Ghana, among other countries. But
Okay.
Let me quickly do this. Aftermath of fatal accident, Minister cautions Ofankor and Sawam drivers against recklessness. And the Minister of Roads and Highways has asked the drivers who ply the Ofankor and Sawam road to exercise some level of patience and also caution to ensure the safety of all. And that also reminds me, the Pokwase stretch, hopefully government can get it done quickly. You know, the other day I was joking, this is just a joke, but if you were to ask me that you wanted the Dubai experience, the desert experience, I'd probably send you to Pokwase to, you know, just take a look at how things are.
They are watering the roads, you know.
Yes,
yeah,
on the back of are talking again and again and again.
And now the people are complaining that only 2 tractors is not enough, and so they should make it about 4 or 5, and then some, you know, running throughout the course of the day. Because if they come in the morning and water the roads between now and maybe 9 a.m., by the time it's 12, 11, you know, midday, the dust is back up. So they need to add more tractors to the watering down of the dusty roads in Amasaman.
Finally, review curfew in Nkwanta. Traders in the Nkwanta South Municipality of the Otu region have appealed to the government to review the curfew imposed on Nkwanta following the communal conflict between the Adele and Chala on one side and the Achode on the other, from 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. They just want more time, 2 hours if the curfew is going to stay. Other stories?
Yes. On the Daily Graphic front page, NDC running mates heater. Before I get into the story, if you were a betting man, who would your money be on?
I don't bet.
But if you were a betting man, a number of names have come up. We know Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang. His name has been top of the list. Among that, we also have the Member of Parliament for Esunafo, Eric Opoku, and lately retired Police Commissioner Nathan Kofi-Boakye. How long or when do you think Mahama will actually announce his running mate? And
if you asked me, I would probably say it was a strategy. Wait
you
till
think they're waiting on
wait till
outweight your opponent.
And there's also Reverend is it Onyina? You know, the Pentecost. Recently, it's some post surveys have come to the fore, and people are suggesting. I think there was a post by Frank Anodomprey as well about a few things. Of course, I can see where that would be heading. Oh, if it goes that way, though he has come out to say, look, that post of mine had nothing to do with any political what. I'm still following God's guidance, and that there's no linkage. But let's assume they go there.
Okay.
The thinking may be that, I'm talking about the MPP. Let's assume they go there. The thinking may be that, oh, the Pentecostal church has a huge following, and so maybe I am a Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, I am Muslim, though we are not playing the religious card here, but I am Muslim, I will get a number of, you know, people of a certain extraction supporting me. Then we can have the Pentecostal caucus. It would be a bland strategy. It doesn't work like that. You will not have people vote simply because someone has been head of their church and is. I don't think that would. No. So if that's the thinking, I don't know.
But let me get into the story, because it's interesting that Togbe Afede's name has also popped up. It says the names of other possible contenders being tossed around include former Chief of Staff to President Mahama, Julius Debra, an economist, Dr. Nimoy Thompson, Member of Parliament for Sunafo, Eric Opoku, and lately retired Police Commissioner Nathan Kofi-Boakye. Mr. Mahama, who is expected to announce his running mate later this month or early March, is facing intense lobbying from various power blocks within the party and interested stakeholders across the country. Let me move here because this is the interesting part. But lead advocates for Change Makers Forum, a group of professionals aligned to the center-left political orientation seeking to effect leadership with advocacy, Ivan Chidi Akrobotu, emphasized the seriousness and potential impact of the outcomes of the NDC's choice of running mate and urged the flag bearer to go for the respected paramount chief. That is Togbe Afede. For the group, Togbe Afede is a perfect choice for the NDC flag bearer who can bring his expertise in finance, economy, banking, and entrepreneurship to bear on the country's economic management. What do you think about that?
What do I think? Do you know why people are so interested in that slot?
Tell me why.
Because whoever gets that slot puts himself or herself in pole position to be president, the next president.
Yes.
Whether or not the NDC wins this election. Do you get what I mean? John Mahama can go for one term, one additional term. After that, likely, the person who is his running mate takes over. And even if that person gets the slot and the NDC loses the presidential election, that person will be in pole position to lead the party in 2028. So this is a crucial position. And that's why there'll be a scramble to be running mate to John Mahama. Because win or lose, even if John Mahama loses, that person still wins.
Because he has only one term. Now, analysts are saying that the choice of a suitable running mate to the flag bearer is crucial, like you're saying, to the success of the opposition party's ride to the Jubilee House on the seat of government. The role of a running mate is pivotal. It extends beyond the ceremonial, just like you're saying, because in the next election, not this one, that person stands the chance of being president. There was a story I saw that caught my eye in the Daily Graphic, saying that, where was that? Yes. Just a sec. MMDA is to be inaugurated today. You know, they were sacked, some of them were sacked from office a week or two ago. Let me get into the story and say all is set for the inauguration of the various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies across the country today. The inauguration follows the successful district-level elections in December last year that elected new assembly and unit committee members to serve in various assemblies for the next 4 years. The event will take place in 259 assemblies out of 261, where the elections took place last year, except in Kranza North and the South in the Bono East region, which had the elections in 2021. The district level elections, though, Benjamin.
What about it?
They are going to be inaugurated today. Those who were selected, elected into office will be inaugurated today. And also, it was the DCEs rather that were sacked. Some of them were sacked from office. I was confused with that. But as part of the inauguration, representative from the president would deliver his inaugural address, and all elected assembly and unit committee members across the 259 MMDAs who would be sworn in to officially commence their mandates to ensure the smooth and effective discharge of their duties in their respective electoral areas. At least that's, continuity in governance. So yes, we are looking forward to them also taking up from where their predecessors ended. Yeah.
Well, right before I get into the Daily Guide, I see an interesting comment. Sometimes I like to rail against some people on social media. This is what maybe you might answer for me. Evans Wachi says, the front page was on the NDC's running mate. Why did you suddenly jump to talk about that of the MPP when she did not even finish reading the front page? Benjamin, your unfairness to the MPP is not. You know me, I've told you that I don't care. I have a very thick skin. These comments, I'll read them. Do you have any response to this person?
Well, there are two major political parties in the country. If we have something on the NDC, it will be doing justice to it if we get the side of the NPP as well. So
I don't know whether Evans was listening, because you spoke about it and it brought to mind Apostle Onyina, and I made mention of it. And then what did I go to? I went back to the NDC situation and the possibility of this person being in pole position, whomever they elect as running mate.
Plus, it's a news review, so we cannot just do one side of it and leave the other.
Evans, watch it. You can, maybe you can do this. I've always said, if you feel we can do this role better, please apply. Come, sit here. I have no problem. I'll move on to the next thing, because some of you, your political tinctures come out and you think you are, but anyway, it's fine. Let's leave it there. If you didn't realize that I spoke about both parts, but you only heard the first part, I'll leave you to that part, and you can stay that way. Daily Guide.
Oh, let me do one last story in the Daily Graphic. Digitization and 24-hour economy, Baumia. Substitutes or complementary development strategies. This is by Emmanuel Akwasam. So the Vice President and the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, said in his 2024 New Year message to Ghanaians that the NPP government will continue to develop a modern and resilient economy driven by digitization. Now, juxtaposing that statement with the 24-hour economy proposed policy of the former president and the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, he foresees a resilient 12-hour digitized economy and a 24-hour economy development strategy dominating the campaign promises of the two leading political parties. I thought it was interesting that they are all running on this 24. First, Mahama spoke about the 24-hour economy where you can work with work shifts, run hours.
Please be careful, oh. Evans Boachu will come and say you are. Why are you not focusing on what Bawumia?
On the story, well.
And why are you bringing in John Mahama? Focus on what's the story.
I'm juxtaposing between, because the both of them are talking
Evans
about
Boachu will not be happy with you.
Evans Boachu, please follow through with us.
By the way, Camila says, in NDC we don't have drivers' mates, we have co-drivers.
His words, not mine.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll just wrap on these. Daily Guide, LGBTQ bill, don't jail same-sex offenders, Afenyo Markin says so. And that story in the Ghanaian Publisher as well. And then give Bawumia a chance. That is in the Ghanaian Publisher. What do you think? Give Bawumia a chance. Some have said he wasn't the driver. He himself has said he was the mate.
I think that no one is commending the NPP for the good work they did on that speech. The logistics, the set, the video they played before Bawumia started speaking, it was very inclusive. You could just tell who a farmer was with the background. You could just tell. I think that, and the way they set up the whole place blue, it was good. They should come again. They should. I still don't know to what extent I can actually say some of the things that I want to say. But I think that if they apply the same strategy, making a thing look so nice, if they apply the same strategy to how they run this government, they will not need the driver out of the seat before the driver's mate assumes the seat to make the country what we need it to be.
But making things nice is only cosmetic. It's only skin deep. It's about the real things that will impact what we do. And we'll leave it to them to do what they have to. And I have always said that this election, the political parties must show us. They must prove to us. This whole bit about give Bawumia a chance, give Mahama a chance, give Asamesi a chance. It's not about giving chances. We aren't Santa to be to out gifts of opportunity. We tried it once. You remember? Akufo-Addo told us, try me too.
For young people,
I am not
like
here,
myself,
whether NDC or MPP. I'm just saying, anybody says give him a chance, give her a chance, please watch out. Because this is the season and matricule is real.
I think young people should vote with intention, because before Akufo-Addo came on, he had all of us, rallying behind him. This is a not young. This is someone who's,
Charlie, I say,
in various levels of government.
Let me not even go there.
And then Akufo-Addo comes, and this is our country. So I don't know about giving us a chance. I think we want to scrutinize what is in your manifestos and find ways to hold you to it. Hold you to it, so that when you come and you say that 24-hour economy, you're digitizing identification, you are scrapping NSS, you are removing VAT on electricity, put it in actionable points. Let everybody read and understand what it is you're proposing, so that when you come into power, after the first 4 years, if you're unable to deliver, we remove you and bring somebody else in. So it's not just about giving a chance. Do that with intention. Do that after you've really scrutinized what the person is offering you and how he or she intends to deliver on those mandates.
Well, time now for us to run off, and we're grateful that you took the time to join us this morning on the show. Right before we go, this segment is always brought to you by Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. They're offering you prostate screening for free. They are also offering you fertility screening for free. Prostate if you're a man, fertility screening if you're a woman. Just reach out to them at any of their branches here in Accra at Spintex opposite the Shell signboard, Kumasi Chronomabwe here behind the Angel Educational Complex. There's Takrady Anaji State, Tema Community 22, Techiman Hanso and Esiama and Zima. Their call lines 0244 867 068 or 0274 234 321. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic, the end to chronic disease. And a very good morning to Evans Boachi. I see him sending in more messages. Evans, I wish you a very good day, okay? Enjoy your opinion and your standpoint, but do realize that everybody has an opinion, respectfully. I can get very sarcastic, but don't take me seriously like that.
No,
I saw you sending in more messages. Sana Metea. Mihuni Papa, any final words?
No, I'm looking forward to watching highlights from Muftau Nabila. I want to see his, what he...
You want to see how he's going to roast the Eagles?
Yes. Just that.
We're having Eagle Chinchinga today.
Did you see the meme where the elephant sat on the eagle?
But that also reminds me, unfortunately, of 1992.
What happened in 1992?
The stars were not able to shine, and the elephants sat on the stars. Yeah, they've done it to us too before.
Thank God we were not in there yesterday. It would have been disastrous. But AM Sports is up next. Muftau Nabila Abdullahi is bringing you all the updates in the world of sports. Keep watching.